But our last speaker.
Yes, our final speaker is Ronald den Elzen, Chief Digital and Technology Officer at Heineken.
Ronald. And of course we end with Heineken because it's almost time for drinks. Ronald, you are going to tell us everything about new tech leadership. And that from a Heineken kind of perspective.
Thank you.
Sounds interesting. Good luck.
Good afternoon. I was asked to talk about new tech leadership. And then first, they gave me the last slot of the day in front of the beers. Even worse, the beers are from Bavaria and not from Heineken. And I'm going to tell you a story, not about tech, because I am not originally from tech. I have not studied data science. By the way, our friends from Bavaria, the Swinkels, are amazing guys. Very quick anecdote. A long time ago, I was not working in tech. I was working in sales in the on-trade in the Netherlands, in horeca. And at Christmas, our friends from Lieshout put a very nice Christmas tree on the Marie Heinekenplein, which is just back of the corner in Amsterdam. Huge blue crates from Bavaria, very nice Christmas crate. Now, finally time for Bavaria. The Dutch people will know. As cheeky as they were, I was just as cheeky. So I called our friends, the students at the ISA, at Amsterdam Studentenkoor. I said, I will give you a free tank of beer if tonight the tree is gone. I was man enough to call myself to Stijn Swinkels at the time. Said, Stijn, very good joke. We did that, you did it to us, but let's keep on going. And a couple of years later, they had these beautiful ladies in orange dresses in South Africa ambushing us, Heineken, on a campaign for the World Cup in football. So they're really good guys. So let's have also a Bavaria tonight. Hey, me. I told you I'm not from tech. I work 30 years at this amazing company at Heineken. And I've worked in supply chain, I worked in finance, I worked in post-merger integrations, I worked in on-trade, in out-of-home in the Netherlands, and I've been managing director. So a couple of jobs, the finance director, the CFO in the Netherlands, the finance director, the CFO in the UK, the managing director, CEO in Portugal, and my last job was CEO for Heineken in the US. And on the left-hand side, you see what's supposed to be me, a GenAI-generated picture with the Heineken experience in the background. And I came back with 3 young children from the US in 2018, 6 years ago. And the CEO of the time, Jean-François van Boxmeer, invited me for dinner in Amsterdam, and he said, I would like you to look at the digital transformation of the company. And I looked him in the eye and said, are you serious? He said, you are never interested in tech. No, really, it's important, and we need to do this, and the supervisory board wants to know this. I said, but are you serious? If this will cost money, and if supply chain asks to build a new brewery, you signed the application blindly, you wait for 18 months, fly to Brazil, raise a glass for the opening of the brewery. But when the IT department comes to you and has the same type of investment, you moan and you bitch for half a year, you say, do we really need it? Then finally you agree we need to do it. We start the project, you moan and bitch for another year and a half, and then are you really serious you want to invest? And the last question I said is, this, if you really want to do this, this has a cultural impact. Heineken grew on the basis of a lot of local brands, local consumers, local communities. If we want to do this, we need a much more centralized approach. This will have a cultural impact. And he said to the last question, I'm not sure. And I told him, with hindsight maybe a bit arrogantly, I'm not sure either. Give me 4 weeks to think if I can do this and if I want to do this. I was really unsure to take that job. And I can tell you already now, it's the best bloody job I have ever had in 30 years Heineken and the most interesting transformation. And what did we do? First, we started not to talk about tech. We put this group of people that you see on the screen in the middle together. 3 people that were working in the, let's call it, IT department of the past. And IT was still a department. It was evolving, but it was reporting into finance. It was seen as a cost center. If the Wi-Fi works and the printer works, it's all okay. And for the rest, moaning. So we invited quite a few people, and those are people on the left top corner. The guy has now run 2 large opcos for Heineken, and he started Beerwolf, our D2C company. We have in the middle a guy that is the commerce officer for all of Europe that started our B2B in Amsterdam. And on the right top corner, for example, we have Jolanda Talemo, who is now with me on the executive team of Heineken, the CHRO, our chief people officer. So very senior people at the time were helping me to create the story of what Heineken could be. Because it was not anymore about an IT department spending hundreds of millions on SAPs, cloud migration and security. Our commerce department started to spend hundreds of millions on starting Beerwolf D2C companies, investing loads of amounts in B2B, even buying EPOS, cash register companies. And also in supply chain, we started to invest serious amounts of money in IoT to connect our PLCs to the cloud and give all of our operators new tools. So this group of people helped to shape that story. And I saw on the previous slide, this was a story of value. This was a story of influencing and making the life of our customers and consumers better. And today, on the right-hand side of the slide, digital and technology is one of the 5 key pillars of Heineken's evergreen strategy overall. Today, we have seats at the table. I participated in the executive team of Heineken. In every regional leadership team, we have one of my people. And in all large operating companies, more than 30 in the world, we sit on the management team. We moved from a below finance cost center to a real strategic enabler part of the business. We try to move from people that have deep understanding of tech to people that really understand tech and have business affinity. Or now the other way around, we hire people from supply chain, from marketing, from finance, that we teach how tech works. So people with broad acumen in the business that can understand and have learning agility to learn tech. And it's not just by putting it on the paper. Since 2020, we have almost doubled the euros, the investments we put in digital technology. Since 2020, we more than doubled the number of people we have in technology. We are insourcing hundreds of roles today in capabilities that we never had before because we know we have to win. In DevOps, software engineer, machine learning engineers, data scientists, cybersecurity specialists. And again, we did that in a different way. We did that, hey, I'm missing a slide in between. We did that by doing it in a very different way. We built 10 what we call habitats, locations. A location, and we describe the location of the future. What will happen in a bar? What will happen in a large grocery store like a Tesco? What will happen in a small pop and mom store in Ho Chi Minh City? What will happen in a warehouse, in an office, in a shared service domain? So we describe the locations. Secondly, we describe the personas, the users. What is a bar owner gonna do? A consumer gonna do? A financial clerk gonna do? An HR administrator gonna do? And if you combine the two, you're really gonna see how technology and how data will help in that domain. An example, in a bar is one habitat, but you can have the bar owner, our sales reps, or you, consumers coming into the bar. And these 3 interact on different ways with technology. Sometimes applications or platforms, Salesforce automation, CRM tools. Sometimes IoT, we try to connect fridges and EPOS machines and tap equipment, draft equipment. We try to connect that to the cloud. And we have a lot of digital products, sometimes AI enabled, like product recommendation or shelf image software to recognize shelves and bars. So all these things together. And by describing them with the people, with the team of 12 people I showed on the page, you can really look, what could the future look like? And then value first, where can we make a difference? Where do we need to invest? We build a strategy. And our strategy is basically very simple. We have an ambition to become the best connected brewer. And we believe, as a 160-year-old startup, we believe we have always been good at connections. We have been good at connections with our consumers through the power of our brands, our innovations, our commercials, sponsorships like Formula One, Champions League. And we've been good at connection with our customers. That can be a large Albert Heijn, a Jumbo, a Tesco, a Walmart, or a small bar around the corner. And we've been good at those connections because of the relationships our sales reps build in the outlets. But the world is changing. All of you in the room are consumer. All of you are watching Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime, 0 commercials. All of you can now say on your phone, I don't want to be tracked. And I do not know anymore if you're a man or a woman, or what your preferences are in terms of football, soccer, basketball, whatever. And last but not least, last year was the first year in history where online gaming revenues were bigger than normal advertising revenues. And online gaming is not a 16-year-old acne guy sitting on the attic. The average age is 35 years old. So how does Heineken build brands? How do we launch innovations? How do we create consumer engagement models in a world not of tomorrow, in the world of today? That is what this strategy is about. How can we really drive and become the best connected brewer end to end? Reaching 400 million consumers every day that are paying our wages, 1 million customers every day, and 90,000 employees every day. So this is not about tech. This is about transformation. This is about influencing the behavior of our customers, our consumers, and our own employees. But it starts in the company. It starts by making sure that all your colleagues in supply chain, in marketing, in sales, in finance are on board. It starts by making it part of the journey of your company. It starts by making sure that IT is not a cost center, keeping the lights on. It's a strategic enabler for the future. If there's one thing I believe, that every role in the company of Heineken, with AI now, will be touched. Thousands of roles may disappear, thousands of roles may appear, but every one of the 90,000 roles will change. And that's our role as tech leaders of the future, to help drive the transformation. Thank you.
Ronald and Elzen from Heineken, thank you very much.